So yesterday, Saturday, the 20th of September, 2025, Dublin airport was massively evacuated and the bomb squad was called in. So about 12,000 people have been evacuated from the Terminal 2 in Dublin airport. And for those who don't know, all the brokies like myself, Dublin Terminal 2 is used for the rich folk to go transatlantic, long haul flights basically to the US, to the Middle East, to China, all these different places. Terminal 1 is basically the poor man's terminal, like myself. That's the only terminal I've ever been to. Ryanair all day long. Okay, I've never even been to Terminal 2. To evacuate this place for 90 minutes is quite a massive thing. I mean, I don't think it's ever happened in many years. The actual evacuation lasted about 90 minutes. I have a few different videos, and I'll show you the videos first, and I'll give you my thoughts on it, because I believe there's a national terrorist threat imminent to the country, and they're not telling us actually what's going on. They're trying to keep it hush-hush, you know, evacuating people, that kind of thing. But I think that because they're just importing hundreds of thousands of flipping people with no background checks, there is going to be an active terrorist threat very soon. 100%. We can't even avoid it. Okay, I think the governments are working together to bring in these people. On top of it, they're just bringing in terrorists. And then they wonder, why is there bomb threats? You know, they're bringing in Al-Qaeda, they're bringing in flipping Taliban, they're bringing in Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab members, Al-Qaeda fractions. And then they wonder, why is there so many bomb threats? Why is there so many bomb threats? Well, you guys are bringing them in, and they can't even defend us from them. Let's watch a few of the videos, and we'll talk about them after. So you can see here the army bomb ordnance, basically the flipping bomb squad has been called in. They haven't been to Dublin airport since the 1980s, of course, since the troubles and things like that. But they're now active in Dublin airport. Great stuff. I feel way more safe now traveling. So literally just the day before, Dublin airport eased up their regulations on how much liquids you can carry, how much like food and things like that you can carry. So let's watch this video as well.
Under the new rules, these clear plastic bags are no longer needed. Liquids, gels and electronics can stay inside your hand luggage when you're passing through security. And the 100 milliliter liquid limit, that's gone, with items of up to 2 litres now being permitted. Some things though remain the same. Boots, belts, jackets and oversized jumpers, they still have to be put into security trays, and pockets also still need to be emptied to remove phones, keys, wallets and the like.
Of course, this was all done post 9/11. Before that, you could bring on anything onto flights. You could bring actually knives onto flights. You could smoke cigarettes in flights. These massive terrorist threats that the Irish government are working with, let's be honest, Al-Qaeda are probably working with the government to scare the people and take away our freedoms. They're basically bringing people in, gonna be hell. Because how do we even know whether or not something is a bomb? Like, how do you even know if there's wires coming from it? How do you even know? Dublin airport security easing up regulations doesn't make me feel safer. When I was in the airport a few months ago, guys, I was sitting there eating Burger King at 11 a.m. and a massive bomb scare came over the radio. All the shutters came down. Everybody was evacuated out to the terminal. It was crazy. This was in Terminal 1. That obviously didn't make headlines because all the peasants, me and all the peasants, as the elites like to call us, they don't care about Ryanair flights being disrupted. They only care about the flights of the rich folk traveling to the US being disrupted. Okay, the government know exactly what they're doing here, lads. And to just talk a little bit about my theory on what's actually happening before I show you Virgin Media news report on this, I just totally think that they're saying there's a cyber attack. There's a cyber attack, there's a European cyber attack and this kind of thing. No, there's not. There's active bomb threats and terrorist threats because the government have let in thousands of people that we don't know where they're from. There's no background checks, and now they're causing disruption. We have national active terrorist threats that are going to happen in Ireland. You're going to be sitting in the lounge in the lobby of the airport with your family. Wow, hey Saoirse, this is a nice day. This is a nice, beautiful weather. Now we're going to Tenerife, beautiful weather. And all of a sudden you're going to hear Allah Akbar and kaboom, and flipping, you know, your shoes will be hanging from the ceiling then. And it's like, oh, you know, oh, we didn't know any of this was going to happen. Well, I know it's going to happen. There's people out there that have said it on the news. The Gardaí have said, we can't handle terrorist threats. We don't know what's happening. We don't know who's coming, who's going. When you're going on your luxury holiday to Lanzarote, and then there's a flipping, some psycho, that wants to get his jihad on. How do we prevent these things? Just don't let in these crazy people, but they're letting them in. ISIS, ISIL, fractions. Let's watch Virgin Media News report on this one.
Just before 2 p.m, Terminal 2 reopened and the crowds surged towards the doors.
They could have come around and just updated episode occasionally, but that would have been nice. But other than that, it's been handled well.
They found something and they called the bomb squad, as far as we know, and things happen. It is what it is.
They told us we were going to be delayed. They were telling everybody they were going to be delayed by a couple hours.
No, I was only 2 hours delayed.
Okay, and will your flight be okay?
I believe so. I hope so.
You haven't missed your flight?
Ours was at 4, so hopefully it's going to stay at 4.
So you've plenty of time.
I'm just going to pray a lot.
Okay, perfect. At midday today, the terminal was evacuated as a major incident plan was activated. An item of luggage of concern had been identified by security. The luggage was belonging to a passenger who had landed in Dublin but was travelling onwards.
So look, there was a bag that...
So we don't know where the person was travelling from. Which country were they coming from? Of course they don't tell us that. The person of concern was travelling from Afghanistan. Oh, but we can't say that. The person of concern was travelling from Syria. Oh, we're not going to announce that on the news. Which country were they coming from? This is crazy.
Needed intervention. That's all we can say. That's now a matter for An Garda Síochána, who've dealt with it very, very well, and we thank them. Well, we've about 90,000 passengers.
Hold on. That was it, guys. It got a little 5-second slot. The person of contention was dealt with, and that's all we can say. So the public know nothing again. We're in the dark. We're potentially hopping on flights with terrorist fraction ISIS members that are ready to blow up the goddamn plane, and you're not telling us what's going on? Oh, gee, thanks, Dublin Airport. Thanks.
That needed intervention. That's all we can say. That's now a matter for An Garda Síochána, who've dealt with it very, very well, and we thank them. Well, we've about 90,000 passengers at Dublin Airport today. The number of people at this time when we'd have had this 90-minute evacuation, temporary evacuation, would I'd say be about 12,000 people.
Gardaí were immediately on the scene and the Army Bomb Disposal Unit was also called in. The luggage was examined on site first, deemed safe and removed from Terminal 2. Further examination was also carried out by the Bomb Disposal Unit. Traffic into the airport was restricted for a period of time. While the evacuation of the terminal may have only lasted approximately 90 minutes, the knock-on effect for passengers after this security alert was significant. Large queues forming inside and outside as people tried to gain access to get checked in and to drop their luggage. The disruption in Dublin came as a number of other EU airports, including Heathrow, Brussels and Berlin, were hit by a cyber attack, impacting the check-in and boarding systems. That attack had a minor impact on Dublin and Cork Airport. The security alert at Dublin will have a knock-on impact for the rest of today, with passengers being advised to check with their airlines in case of delays or cancellations.
That's the greatest non-explanation I've ever heard in my life. Notice the way they create the news. They don't actually tell us anything there. There was no explanation. Who was the guy? Where was the guy from? What flight was he coming in on? Do we know anything? No, we don't know anything. He just had an item of concern. Was the item of concern a flippin' anthrax? Was it a bomb? Was it knives? Was it handguns? What was the item of concern? Was it a flippin' nail bomb? Do we have Ted Kaczynski coming over from, some serial killer? Like, who are these people coming in? This is traitorous, this government that we have, guys. This is literally traitorous government. And much love to the man I was talking to yesterday in the gym. He said, much love, thank you for calling me Martin traitor. Absolutely. These people, they're not telling us anything what's going on in the country, lads. We're kept in the dark. How are we supposed to protect ourselves if there's no transparency between the media, the government and the people? Unbelievable. And then on top of it, I was sent this video by 3 or 4 different people actually a few days ago. The Gardaí once again focus on trivial things. They're testing scooter speeds. Let me reiterate that, guys. There's bomb threats going on. There's ISIS members flying in. We have flipping crime at an all-time high. There's flipping white collar crime. They're destroying the country. They're flipping spending so much on the government. They're spending on bike sheds and security towers and just flipping lawlessness, just flipping Mad Max style stuff. And what do the Gardaí focus on? Scooter speeds. Oh, Lord. Let me ask the question everybody is wondering. What is the point in that? Like, I thought scooters were first of all illegal anyways. Like, but I see them more and more. But I see more and more people in my city riding around on scooters. They're driving scooters up and down the flipping road. Like, they're flipping, it's like a bicycle for them. They're going 80 kilometers an hour. I remember I was driving at 60 one day. Some guy in a scooter speeds by me going uphill. No helmet, 2 guys on it. I've seen one with 3 or 4 guys on a scooter. They just pack them on. They have 4 or 5 guys on a scooter. Inner city guys or South Asian guys on the back of a scooter. How is that legal? You know, and then I'm getting pulled over for flipping headlight out. What the hell is going on? This country is just a disaster, lads. Absolute disaster. Like, Dublin Airport's removing its liquid restrictions. Great. Now I'll be more hydrated on my flight, but I'll be flipping dead. Oh, unbelievable, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that. I just said that whole video was just out of control, ridiculous. I mean, I've never seen something so egregious. I was going to go over this RT2 news article, but there's no point, like, is there? There's just no point, guys. Like, RT don't give us the full story. They just lie to us en masse. It's brainwashing. It's propaganda. You know, they're saying, and this is the last point I want to say. They said on one side there's a European online cyber threats going on. But on the other side, we have bomb threats in Dublin Airport. So which one is it? Is it cyber attacks or is it bomb threats? We don't know because they don't tell us. There's Al-Qaeda being shipped in. There's flipping ISIS members being flown in on purpose. They're collaborating with the government to cause terror. We have an out of control government working with the terrorists. I mean, this is insanity, guys. I love you guys all. If you want to support me, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today. We have 28 members. So I greatly appreciate all the love and support because the mainstream media will never show these news stories, guys. That's why you have me push back against these mainstream media bullshit stories. Hope you guys have a great weekend and I'll see you all in the next one, lads. Peace.